Good morning, everyone. How are you feeling? Great. Okay, because we're going to have a really great panel, because this panel is about business models. How do you future-proof them? Because we live in such an age of disruption that actually everything is being disrupted, right? And so we're going to talk about the possibilities of building resilience into your business model and all that. So now, my panelists, I'm so honored to have my panelists with me. I have David Kolner from Virtuoso. I have Ross Veitch from WEGO. And I have Jacques from Global Blue. And I've got David Woessner from FutureOf. So I'm going to start off by asking each of the gentlemen, what's your business model? So David, let's start with you. What's your business model?
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. And I just want to say thank you to all of our Saudi hosts. The vibes are immaculate here at TOURISE, and we've had such a great time. So thank you for having us. My name is David Kolner, and I represent Virtuoso. We're a network of luxury travel agencies around the world, representing 55 different countries, about $30 billion in sales with 20,000 advisors focused on the high net worth and ultra high net worth clients for their luxury leisure travel.
Okay, thank you. Ross, what's your business model?
Yeah, so WEGO is an online travel group. We're focused on the MENA region. We do a mixture of B2C and B2B, about 100 million people with our mobile app installed. And we have multiple business models inside the group. We have a marketplace or a meta search model. We're an online travel agency model. We have a hotel bed bank. We have a corporate travel group. And we have a media and advertising solutions group. So
okay, so pretty diversified portfolio. Okay.
right,
And David, founder of FutureOf.
Yeah.
So what's that business model?
Good morning, everyone. Sabah Khalir. I am honored and pleased to be here. At FutureOf, we invest, advise, and operate at the intersection and convergence of energy, community, mobility, and industry. And we have a portfolio that's global of relatively early stage frontier technology-led organizations.
Right, so you really have a sharp eye on what's coming. Yeah. What's the next business model, right? Okay, so Jacques, I mean, you work in the best industry, I think, shopping.
Exactly, so tax-free shopping.
Tax-free shopping, and...
So what is it? Basically, we help retailer and government to enable a consumer when they go abroad, shop abroad, to add their VAT back. So it's not only about VAT, it's all about emotion and shopping abroad. I will tell you more about that.
I think the emotion is me spending money.
Exactly.
and you were saying, like, 10% of your consumers are responsible for 70% of the spend. So that's your business model. That's where most of your revenues come from.
Yeah, so we manage, we have in our database per year around 18 million shoppers who shop abroad in 50 countries from Europe, here in Saudi, but also in Asia, Japan in particular. And basically, the total of their spend is around 25 billion. And you're right, 10% of them, so 1.8 million, are spending 70% of this 25 billion, which is more than 10,000. So a bit like David, we are serving high net worth individuals who are going abroad and shopping abroad.
Right. So the idea is, like, we live in such exciting times because business models are changing, and it can really add value to our industry, right? So I want to start with a quiz to the audience, if we can pull up the quiz. So travel and tourism contribution to global GDP in 2024 was 10.9 trillion. So 10.9 trillion. Now, on the closing day of day one, we had Richard Branson, who basically asked us to reach for the stars. And he said, space should be for everyone, so let's all expand our imagination even to the stars. So I want all of you to imagine now, right? What contribution could travel and tourism make to global GDP by 2035? Is it 20 trillion? Is it 30 trillion? Or is it 40 trillion? Guys, you want to pick a number? Or it's maybe not even a number that's here. Want to go for it?
I think doubling over 10 years is what I would guess.
Okay, so you're saying 20?
7-8%.
20 trillion?
I'm always optimistic, 30.
30?
I would agree with my French colleague, 30.
Okay, 30. And David?
I feel like this is a WTTC quiz. I think it's 30 trillion is what I'm going to go with.
30 trillion. Okay, so we'll get the answer from the audience and see what the audience agrees with. But so let's talk about how we get there. So everybody is saying about 30 trillion. But we have a lot of optimists in the room, clearly, 30 trillion, 40 trillion. So let's talk about how we get there, right? And how we get there is technology is changing the game, right? And then we're seeing everything from subscription-based travel, AI concierges, airports acting as entertainment centers, right? But ultimately, it's still about what travelers value, what travelers want. So I'm going to go for another poll today and ask the audience, what do you think travelers value today? Is it price? Is it value? Is it experience? Is it community? So let's pull up the question and give me an answer. What do you think they value today?
Everything. Everything.
Everything.
But
Okay.
at the
Pick
core,
one.
At the core, it's really the experience.
Experience.
I think my perspective and what I personally look for when I travel is the right experience with the right people at the right value.
You're a demanding traveler.
Not everything.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I mean,
Prices.
we all travel to experience the world and to interact with people. I think increasingly it's going to be an emphasis on authentic experiences.
Experience, okay. And David?
Yeah, I would say generationally, there's maybe some variation, but Gen Z leading the way with experiences over things is a huge trend, so experience.
Right. And we wait for the answers and see, okay, so everybody agrees it's about the experience. So we live in the experience economy where even shopping is an experience. So how are you delivering on the experience right now? Because I think yesterday at I think it was day one when Schubert Liu of Trip.com basically said that the biggest force that will change global tourism will be the millennials and Gen Z from Asia Pacific as well as the Middle East, right? So how do you see that changing your business model, David?
Well, I'm so grateful for millennials and Gen Z worldwide, not just in Asia. I really think they are going to be, Gen Z specifically, will be the most influential generation the world has ever seen. And they have voted very clearly that they value experiences over things, which makes the future of this industry and what we're here to do at this event to be so important. So I really think that that shift towards experiential economy is here to stay and will be a movement that we continue to move towards for the next few decades.
Okay, and Ross? I mean, you operate in the Middle East, so you're at the forefront of the change here.
Yeah, I mean, the average age on our platform is about 28, right? So it kind of reflects the average age across the GCC countries as a whole. We see people getting further and further off the beaten track. So, whereas their parents or grandparents go into more iconic destinations, we're seeing people, looking for, less well-traveled destinations. And something we're doing, so sort of embracing, what we see happening off-platform on the social media platforms, and sort of bringing it, inside of our app, where we will be able to create, create videos of different experiences, different destinations, and also allowing our users to upload their own user-generated content,
Yeah.
sort of like allowing our users to inspire each other.
So social media is basically fanning travelers' appetites for more remote areas or more undiscovered areas, right?
Correct.
And one of the things that I think was interesting in the air panel yesterday, or the day one, was about the importance of secondary airports and secondary routes and opening up secondary destinations so that we can disperse travel. For you as a high net worth spending traveler who travels to, where did you go to Paris? Is it to buy $3,000 skis?
Stuttgart, but yes, close.
How do you see your travel patterns changing?
So actually, as part of our before the panel discussion conversation, we were talking about that shopping, traveling for shopping. And admittedly, I travel for shopping to certain destinations. And one of my habits that's changed, and it was a very well-traveled route, if you went to London, often you would go up the M40 to go to Bicester Village. And as the UK has shifted its tax scheme, people, and certainly I, have decided to no longer pursue that particular destination because there's not really a benefit, especially with the current exchange rate between the US dollar and the British pound. I would say on kind of the airport topic, I remember, again, kind of TSA requirements. I went to school at Georgia Tech down in Atlanta, and Atlanta has always been one of the busiest airports in the world. But before kind of TSA and 9/11 and all the security stuff, Atlanta Hartsfield was a destination for a lot of people in Atlanta for both dining and shopping. And so I think hopefully through the changes in mixed use at airports, we can bring some of that back, where the airport doesn't just become a destination for the traveler, but also becomes a key asset for the local community.
Yeah, I mean, airports are definitely transforming over the world. I think it was Kenny Jacobs from the Dublin Airports Authority. They manage about 3 airports in Saudi, and he basically called airports runways with retail attached, and a lot of the revenues coming from just outside the airports. So Jacques, you must be happy because at the first TOURISE Awards, Paris, your hometown, won the best destination for shopping. Yeah. You must be happy with that. How has shopping patterns changed?
Look, there was a debate some years ago about experience and product. And there was a lot of people saying, oh, you know what, the new generation are going away from the product because they want to experience.
And they want meaning over bling.
Exactly.
That seems
so that was the other things. Reality is that the retail is today changing. You were mentioning about airport. Today is a shopping mall with a runaway. You're absolutely right. But also the traditional retail, especially the luxury retail. You have a one-to-one service now, which you didn't have. But you have also a destination. You have a restaurant now in luxury retailer. And soon you will have a hotel for the really ultra high net worth individual. And then it becomes a destination. Because yes, you can buy online in your home country, but when you are going to Paris to get the experience to have the Hermès bag from the Rue du Faubourg, it's something which creates memories. So there's an emotion that you can create around retail if it's well transformed. So it's why I would not oppose experience and product. It can be mixed into something which is really new, and then all the new generation will like it. They will spend other things and other money on other things.
Okay, as long as they buy.
It's not it's like post-COVID, everybody was saying, in the COVID, nobody will travel anymore. Video conference, it's great.
Yeah.
We return to what is a basic for human being.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's move on to the topic of new business models, right, which is the topic of this panel. And as I said earlier, this is the age of disruption. Almost everything is being questioned, even my role as a journalist. Like, am I going to be replaced by Gen AI? What's my business model? Which business model do you think is being particularly tested right now? David?
It's a
other than Virtuoso, which business model is being tested?
It's a really good question. As the person on the panel representing the travel agency distribution or reseller channel, we've seen incredible growth over the past few years. But I really think the people that are at risk of disruption are people that aren't adding value to the experience. If you are just a transactional person, you are absolutely going to be automated right out of the chain, the same way that travel agencies were changed forever with the invention of the GDS and OTAs over the 70s and the 80s. I think conversely, there's an incredible opportunity for people that are adding value and that human connection throughout the travel process, and we continue to see that in the growth of the Virtuoso network and travel advising for luxury travel.
Yeah, and you're saying that, I mean, for years people were saying, well, the role of the human advisor is going to go away,
Yeah.
right? Because technology and, the next generation is just going to plan with AI.
Yeah.
But you are actually seeing the reverse trend on that high net worth category, though.
Yeah, some of the stats for the category that we're in is that our sales for 2025 are tracking about 300% of 2019's sales. So 3 times higher in sales than we began the pandemic with. And then another stat that we'd like to use is our customer recommendation and satisfaction levels. So we send a survey to clients who've used a Virtuoso advisor to plan a trip. We've sent about 1 million of those invitations over the last 11 years. The clients aren't always loving their preferred partner, their hotel or cruise line, but they rate and they recommend their travel advisor 99.5% recommended. And I don't think there's another product in the entire travel industry that has a 99.5% recommendation rate. So I think
So
there's
the human advisor
side
that
as
adds
this
value.
incredible,
is the value.
resilient, and maybe even trending opportunity in the industry.
Okay. And Ross, I mean, the OTA model is being tested, the meta search model is being tested. Which model do you think is being tested most?
So within the realm of online travel, I think anybody who's got a heavy reliance on organic traffic coming out of Google primarily, I think is going to see their business model severely tested. We're already seeing a lot of disruption at the top of the funnel, particularly for the sort of challenges people are coming to expert offline agents. I think people are increasingly getting good answers out of the LLMs. So trip ideas, itinerary planning, short lists of places to stay, things to do when you get there, places to eat. Like the recommendations are extremely good. They boil the entire internet. So any site that was relying on sort of like thin content is history. So the traffic for that has already stopped coming, and is in decline. And those of us who've been dealing with relying on Google for either organic and paid, we're going to have to start figuring out how to interface, how to partner with the ChatGPT, with Anthropic, with Gemini. But I think the OTAs are well placed to do exactly that. We've survived. Mobile apps. We've survived multiple shifts at the top of the funnel, and I think we'll figure it out.
So the answer is not to be dependent on third party for traffic, clearly, but to really build direct customer relationship and direct traffic through your brand.
Having a strong brand has always been important, more so than ever. So the LLMs are going to have to figure out where to send people to shop and book, and I think they're going to use a lot of the same ranking signals that the search engines have used beforehand. So brand matters.
Yep. So brand matters. Okay, David, we go to you as an investor. Which business model? I mean, of your portfolio, where do you see it being tested, and where are the new business models that you're watching?
Yeah, so we are currently very interested and focused on, under our community pillar, on live sports experiences, especially ones that also build community. And so we've supported the launch of a new football soccer platform focused on basically developing a global Grand Slam series for the world's most elite women's soccer clubs. It was launched in May in Portugal. The next one is in December in the Miami area. Then we've worked closely with Spartan, with the Spartan race and their portfolio that is represented in over 50 countries. For example, one of my friends, German friends, is an ultra endurance athlete. So he, for example, travels all over the world for endurance, Ironmans. The most craziest thing he did this year is he went to Kolner in France and ran five full triathlons in 5 days, and multiple friends traveled with him to support him.
Yeah.
So again, it's a live experience. And then the last one I think we're looking at is motorsports and motor enthusiasts, and tying that to actual purpose-built real estate assets, including, you mentioned ultra high net worth individuals having car garages, maybe adjacent to a golf club or a yacht club. And so those are some of the, again, destination focused experiences around live and participatory sports.
I mean, it is definitely a growing segment. I mean, live tourism, they call it, and theme tourism as well, and sporting. I like that, live sports that build community. Community is a big need right now, I think, in our society. Okay, and Jacques, what's testing your business model, or people are just going to buy anyway? People are just consumers, aren't they?
Yeah, well, as I've mentioned, at the root, you have consumer, mostly high network individuals, which want to experience the travel. So they want to go abroad, and when they are abroad, they want to experience the country they are in. And the country gives a lot of things, depending the country.
Yeah.
Some more shopping, some less, but at the end, it is that. But to come back to your question about businesses and disruption of business model, I think all the business models are today challenged by geopolitics. The world is changing fast, and when you run a business, you need to take that into consideration. Consumers are changing fast. We just talked about that. And AI is also changing the way we do things. So at the end, when you have so much change, what is really important is to go to the roots, which is what consumer wants, what human being wants. And I think if you understand that, you are probably less likely to be lost in one of the maze of the change of the business model.
Yeah. I heard a speaker said, like, it is even more important at this time to actually not look at what will change, but actually what will not change, and then focus on that what will not change aspect of it to build resilience into your business model. So we're definitely seeing a lot of shift, right? We got tourism companies who are not just selling trips, they are building communities, ecosystems, we got subscriptions, we got memberships, we got communities. And yesterday, Gidia, did I say that right? Spoke of having a universal pass so that travelers can actually visit multiple parks at one access, right? So people are thinking differently. So are there any possible new models out there for us to examine for the audience? But I'm just now going to go to a quiz. I'm going to ask the audience, what do you think is the value of the travel subscription services market? Is it 215 million? Is it 375 million? Or is it 420 million? I think the answer might surprise you. So can you take a guess?
375.
Okay. You read the answer. Yeah, it is 375 million. So it's huge, actually, right? And then we're going to go to the next one, which is, what is the non-aeronautical share of global airport revenues? Is it 215 million? Is it 420 million? Or is it 375 million? What do you think? Oh, sorry, I got the wrong one. So is it 12.3, is it 27.8, or is it 54 billion? What do you think?
12.3.
54.
54.
It's a very, very high, share. So what's the most interesting new model that you've seen in travel recently?
I think what's interesting, that subscription number is actually incredibly low. Yeah. Like it's in the millions, not billions. But I think there are some interesting opportunities. I saw Salam Air this week announced a subscription, or you can fly air products. So you have to sign up for a minimum 6 months. There's a monthly fee, and within that you can fly as much as you can. And I think for suppliers, they're in particularly good position to launch innovative subscription models like that. One I'd love to see is a subscription-based service that allows you to fly back and forth between Dubai and Riyadh as much as you want. So
Okay.
a fixed monthly fee, and the airlines could figure out a way to like keep you off the slots that are like the most most economically valuable, push you to the edge. But I think it would encourage a lot of people to. You'd be creating demand that doesn't exist today by making it effectively fixed price. And sort of on a related note, there was 30 years ago, there used to be a shuttle service between Singapore and KL that took away a lot of the friction from travel. You didn't have to buy a ticket in advance. You just rock up to the airport, take a ticket, get in a queue, and you'd get on the next available flight, and they'd have like every 30 minutes. Again, like city pairs, but like Riyadh and Dubai, I think it'd be a fabulous way to like increase the connectivity, and I think both cities would benefit tremendously. You got people living there, working here, and living here, shopping, like both.
So frequent travelers on well-traveled routes that make this and make that easier for them to. I think that's a great idea. David, do you see any new models coming out for like Virtuoso? Would you consider a subscription membership?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm probably going to be a little more controversial and disagree that I'm not so sure that the subscription model really holds a lot of promise for the high net worth, ultra high net worth leisure traveler, because really that category is about choice and selection and doing whatever you want whenever you want it. I think there's probably models about advising services where already some of the advisors around the world work on a retainer basis for their best clients, just like a financial services or other types of service provider to that category would be.
Okay. And David, what would you pay for?
I think what I personally pay for is a flight from Detroit to Riyadh direct. Be very specific. Unfortunately, most people in this audience may notice that Detroit, Michigan, and the suburbs have actually a very significant Arab community, and unfortunately, the only direct flight from Detroit to the region is on Royal Jordanian to Amman. And so I mostly, if I don't want to go Royal Jordanian, which is not my preferred carrier because I've been a 30-plus year member of Delta, I have to either go via London or Paris or Amsterdam or DC. So a direct flight I would pay. One thing I would say on one of my college classmates has been a serial entrepreneur in the tourism, entertainment, gaming space. And his latest company is called Sunrise AI, and it works with various platforms, including Open Table and Live Nation. And he basically, with a 4-person team, has created a multi-million-dollar organization that deploys AI agents for go-to-market and CRM support. And I think that model of how you mentioned suppliers to the industry, how they can actually relatively quickly, leveraging AI tools, create real value for massive platforms, I think is going to be something that continues to change the business model of some of the suppliers.
Right, stitching together adjacent items that people cannot buy in one place, and putting it together through agentic AI. What about you, Jacques? I mean, in the shopping world or retail, do you see any new models that are coming up that are interesting?
Yeah, and I go back to this consumer, understand the consumer, and I will take the example of LVMH and Bernard Arnault, which is a staggering entrepreneur that we all know. When a few years ago they bought Belmont Hotel, few people were saying, well, what are they doing? I mean, they are a luxury retail brand. Why are they buying some hotel in the world? Then they have sponsored the Formula One. Why LVMH and LV are sponsoring all of that? You go back to what are the high network individual needs. What they want to be fully embedded in an experience. And the experience is, I go to the Belmont in the Cipriani in Venice, then I go to the LV shop, and because I love sports, then I go to the Formula One racing. And this is how you encapsulate the lifestyle of the high network individual.
Yeah.
And okay, it's not a change of business model, but it's a way to address in a holistic way the high network individual, which is different. On the top of the LV in Paris, they are building a Cheval Blanc. This is also a hotel. This is that kind of things which are evolving. And it gives us, I think, a taste of how you can retain a high network individual in every aspect of what they like or what they want to do, which I think is inspiring.
Yeah. So I'm hearing terms like, when you guys are speaking, terms like curation come to my mind, and orchestration come to my mind, and then connecting comes to my mind, when you're talking about all those things that you can put in a bundle. So lines are also blurring, and we talked about high net worth individuals. What do they want? Longevity travel is a big trend that's come out. I know Richard Quest said, I don't agree with wellness, but longevity travel. So I was at a wellness retreat in Thailand, Raksa. It's a joint venture between a hospital and a hotel company. And the GM is actually a doctor. So the lines are blurring. So can you think of, very quickly, I think we're running out of time, could you think of some unexpected partnerships or alliances you think that could build a new business model for the future? David?
Yeah, I think the experiential side of crossing medical with travel together and a new definition of wellness is an excellent one. I think there's also incredible brand opportunities to help bring customers that are familiar with one brand into another one, and this is happening in crossover new types of companies opening hospitality outlets as well.
Okay. An unexpected alliance, Ross?
Yeah, I don't know about alliance, but I think we're already seeing a lot of people traveling for medical purposes, longevity specifically, and a lot of it's driven by regulatory arbitrage. So things like stem cell therapies, biologics. Like some countries are taking an extremely conservative approach, others are taking a more progressive, and people with the means of traveling to wherever they can get the services.
Okay. David?
So one of the areas we've invested in is in longevity science. New Frontier Bio is one of our portfolio companies. The brand is More. And then another one of our companies that we're working with is called Radical Science. And they've kind of democratized clinical trials. And I think in this space of longevity science and health and wellness and supplements, I think you can see some unique collaborations, potentially with like an airline saying, can we create a specific formulation that supports frequent travelers on either their skincare or a specific supplement for sleep and wellness. And so I think some of those potential alliances and collaborations could come on board in the near future.
Great. Another trend, sleep tourism. So we have 1 minute, so one word answer to my rapid fire, okay? So complete this sentence, David. In 2035, travelers will pay for ... that they don't pay for today.
Free time.
Sorry?
Free time.
Okay. Ross, what's one buzzword you hope disappears from our vocabulary by 2035?
NDC.
Okay. David, which will change travel more in the next 10 years? AI, climate change, or space tourism?
Certainly climate change.
Okay.
I believe people will be more selective.
All right. And Jacques, last question. What's one travel experience that won't exist in 20 years?
The bad one.
Good answer. Please join me in thanking my panelists, David, Ross, David, and Jacques. Thank you. Thank you.